Okay guys, just bear with me here, I got a little bit of a runny nose. Working in the garage is very, very cold. But what we got here is a couple people, they don't know what the kits look like before, and some questions about, before and after pictures and whatnot. And it is cool, to see where it came from, how it started and progressed into, the finished piece. So basically, this Apocalypse kit, I'm working on two at the same time, which is pretty sweet because I could do it assembly line style. I have already joined the hips and the legs, if you will. And right about now, I'm going back and I'm looking at all the rest of the imperfections, because any kit that I've worked on so far, I can't speak for them all, but they've all had imperfections. It's just kind of, there's no way to perfect the process. Issues with this, I've left some issues kind of unattended to, so you could get a better idea in the video. But the A is kind of missing some stuff, and I think the guy who casted it or whatever, he tried to go in with something and fill some of the areas, which is pretty cool. That's a step that people don't always take, as far as the casters and the molders. Same thing on the A here. And the fact that I'm doing two of them lets me see where the problem areas are on this piece. So if anyone's going to work on this kit, the A's have a problem. The feet were kind of really needed some work to get them flat. Basically, what you're seeing here is I had to sand this the where the hand connects to the wrist right there. I totally planed that down myself and flattened it because it was very jagged and it would never sat right. So basically what needs to happen now, there's already a rod in there and it's connected with epoxy, and then I'll just fill it with Aves and kind of like resculpt the area so there is no gap there. But on the same arm here, you could see, there's something that was repaired, another repair. But if you can see right here, all those little things that look like bubbles, they are bubbles. So that means that's a thin area of resin. So what I'm going to do is Dremel that whole area out, like in the shape of a U, and then just fill it, because you do it right the first time. And try and find, there's some there, and air bubbles. It's a common problem, and you'll see these two right here are the same arm. So I find a problem on one because I'm working on two kits. Most likely I'm going to have the same problem on the other. So that's the benefit of working on two at the same time. Yeah, so basically this is how it starts off. I kind of code them each with letters to see the first time, to give it a dry run, like a fitting, to see how they all fit together. And sometimes, like on this one for instance, what I marked off as the D1 on his left leg fit good, but on the right leg the C matched the C1 body that it matched off. So sometimes you gotta swap and you gotta improvise. But the same thing here, there's a gap there, and that'll get filled by Aves. That's already epoxied and secured and got the rod and all that, so it's good. Now we just basically go into the resculpting and kind of dressing it up so you don't see that gap, because the people who pay all the money to have this done, they don't want to see that. And basically what happens is these rods here, this is an aluminum rod, back up, so right here I drill holes. It's basically what I think everyone does. Maybe there's a difference here and there, but it's kind of tried and true method. And then over here, let me back out, where it's going to join into his shoulder, there's also a hole drilled. So what happens is, let me zoom out, this gets inserted here, and obviously I don't use one with the still sticker on it, but you get the idea. And then it goes into his shoulder blade like that, and obviously that's the wrong rod, but it'll be cut to fit, and it gives it more strength and braces it. It's kind of like a splint in a way, you know what I mean? And what I do is I use this right here. This is a Magic Sculpt for attaching any of the limbs to the rods, because when it dries it hardens. This is a piece of it right here. I mean, I know you can't obviously tell the texture of it, but I'm going to be quiet and you can kind of listen to it hit. I mean, that's like a rock. It's a lot harder than Aves, and Aves is good for going in and filling in all the cracks and whatnot, but to do the meat and potatoes of what you need to do on these kits, I recommend the Magic Sculpt. So yeah, this is basically what the kit looks like, and you get a rough idea. This is gonna sit in there, and he's gonna be holding the world up or whatnot, and you can just see from this right here. Okay, that's me holding it in kind of exactly where it needs to be, but there's a gap there, and that has to be filled. And that's basically it, and just an idea of what goes into building these kits, and the amount of work, and from the painter's point to actually assemble the kit and sand it and prime it, and depending on how good the molding and the casting is, there's more work or there's less work. This one's pretty good as far as ones I've done so far. I mean, I've had ones that were total nightmares. This is actually a really good casting, and once I start painting it up, I know I'm gonna have fun with it because I like the sculpt, and that's it. So we'll see how it looks painted next. Thanks. Bye.
How did you do that?
With style, Petit. With style.